Hi guys, Sharice here from Pieces Calligraphy. In this video, we're going to review the ascending stem loop. The ascending stem loop is another basic stroke every brush calligrapher should know, and it is week 6 in my basic stroke series. Thanks so much for following along. I hope you're enjoying the series and learning a lot as we're able to build upon these strokes and actually make letters. And thanks to those of you again following on Instagram. It's really awesome to connect with you across the world and see your work. Just remember to post your work with #pieces_basic strokes. And I check out the hashtag every chance I get, and I love seeing your questions and your progress and helping out as much as I can. All right, so we're going to go into today's basic stroke, the ascending stem loop. It sounds complicated, but we're going to break it down and talk about how to create it, what letters you'll find it in, and how you can practice it. Okay, so something I'm going to briefly touch on, and we'll go into more detail with this. I'm sort of drawing here some basic guidelines. Remember, we've always talked about the waistline and the baseline. So that's your X height. And essentially that means the lowercase letter X fits within this space, and it's just a way to gauge where that area between your waistline and baseline should be. And then there's different proportions you can use, but for demonstration purposes here, we're going to do a 3-2-2, and I don't want to get you too confused, but essentially that just means there's 3 boxes here, and then 2 in this next area, and then 2 above that. And we're going to use this throughout the basic stroke series, so that way we have a consistent guideline. Okay, so I'm going to draw an ascending stem loop. Let's draw a couple. Okay, so let's go over what the ascending stem loop is. As the name holds, there's about 3 parts to the stroke. You have the stem, which is the backbone of the stroke. It's this thicker part here. And then the loop itself, of course. And then the ascending part comes in the fact that it just goes above the waistline. Okay, so any ascending stroke is essentially one that goes above the waistline. Okay, so you have loop, stem. And so that leads me into how to do the stroke. I start my loop somewhere between this first ascending space. Okay, so we're going to eyeball that somewhere here. And then I loop around with light pressure, and I curve up to the top, and notice this is all light pressure. And then once I touch the top ascending line, then I increase my pressure and go full force down with a downstroke. Okay, so thin, curve around, and then thick downstroke. Thin up, thick down. Okay. And let's go over some letters that you can find the ascending stem loop in. I don't think I have space, so let's go to another page. Okay. And then I'm going to actually add a descender. All right. So you have your letter B. And the thing about the letter B is it actually, we're getting messy here. The letter B actually transitions into an underturn stroke, so it's a good thing we went over that stroke first. And then the letter H. This is a really good example because after your entrance stroke, you can see the ascending stem loop. And then recognize this stroke, the compound curve. Same thing with the letter K. It's a good one to demonstrate the ascending stem loop. And what you'll notice is I try to lift up my pen after I've made the entrance stroke. I lift it up a little bit up and over, because the ascending loop I like to start a little bit above the waistline, but you also want to move over so that way when you're bringing this down stroke, the entrance stroke kind of rests on the outside. The best example is probably this one here. Okay, and when you're using the same color, you can't tell that there's this overlap, as I'll demonstrate here with the letter L. Okay, see how that just kind of all blended in together. Okay, but remember, you want to lift so you have this nice space here. If you don't lift, if you only go higher and make your loop, I mean, it's such a tight space here and it just looks like it's suffocating, so don't do that. All right, so let's go over some ways to practice. I need to hurry before my little boys wake up. Okay, so we're going to use this as our ascending space, and then here, there. X height. All right, so you could just do a row, oops, as we've done with other basic strokes, and do a couple of lines of those. And one other thing to notice here is the slant I'm on. It matches the slant of my other basic strokes that we've gone over. And then you can try connecting with the entrance stroke. Remember, lift up and over, but then since we're doing the ascending stem loop, we'll go up a little bit higher. Just like that. Okay. And over time, that was a little too close there. Over time, you'll develop your own style, so don't think that this is the end and this is how you're going to create your ascending stem loops. This is just learning the basics, the fundamentals, so then you can develop your own style. You can get a little more modern, you can get a little more copperplate. This is just the basics. Okay, and then one more practice thing you could do is entrance stroke, ascending stem loop, compound curve. I think this is a really good one to practice because we've done these strokes and now you're just putting them all together. Okay, so I hope that was helpful to learn what the ascending stem loop is. And remember on Instagram to share your practice with #pieces_basic strokes. And follow me on my blog. I put out a whole post on each basic stroke that ties in with everything you see here, along with pictures and definitions, and then I include this video as well. So subscribe to my blog there, piecescalligraphy.com, and subscribe to this channel as well so you get the videos all in one place. And I will see you guys next week. Thanks for watching.